day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. Now I have been severely quiet after the initial drop of the DLC. That's because I couldn't find anything to compliment within the game. My original opinion was, yeah, you know what, it's fine to charge up to $30 for the DLC. But immediately once I started playing the DLC, my opinion dropped to 10, my opinion dropped to 5, my opinion dropped to 3. And when I said $3 for the DLC, I literally meant that is the value that they added to the game. And how do I estimate that? Well, the game cost $30 on launch. It cost almost $50, but nonetheless, that's what it cost. Considering how much of data came out with the game originally and how much of adventure and questing we had to do, I used that as a judgment point to judge the game. It gave me quite a skewed result in how I judge the game, because the game turned out looking like, what is a tactful way to say it? An absolute waste of time. Yeah, I think that's me being very generous with how I'm describing it. But nonetheless, yes, the game was a waste of time. And I saw it as a waste of time, and then I decided to try and justify whatever I did to buy the game. And trust me, I still can't justify paying the price that I paid for the game. So I looked at the DLC changes, you know, with the new raid functions on the expeditions, and I mean M1, M2, M3. Now there's no longer the M1 to 10, and I honestly felt that they're robbing the player of a lot of progress, because you can climb up slowly M1, M2, M3. Then you can climb up slowly M4, M5, M6, the intermediate phases. Then you go M7, M8, M9, and M10. M9 and M10 are just absolute murder on you. But now you just go easy, difficult, murder. That is all that there is. There is no hard and then difficult murder type situations. They over-empty it really fast, and to be honest, it isn't the worst of decisions, right? And if I'm saying it isn't the worst, then trust me, it isn't the worst decisions they could have made. I'm not about to fight 3 wizards at the same time. With the number of bosses I've just defeated, so yeah, as I'm saying, there's a lot that I've seen in the game and played through over the past few weeks. And yes, I'm back on the whole campaigning mission to get legendary weapons. The reason for it is quite simple. They only unlocked recently for me, and I've been doing most of my missions, and whatever missions were jammed and I couldn't get through were where I was locked away. And I was progressing as the order of the map goes, so that I wouldn't miss out on collecting any weapons. It turns out that all of a sudden, once I completed 2 missions in Shattered Mountain, I instantly got all of these missions handed to me. So yeah, it kind of threw a wrench in my original plans and kind of slowed me down. But yeah, it's fine like this nonetheless. Okay, so what do I have to say about New World right now, considering the amount of time that's gone past and the fact that I'm just going to do a casual play of it today instead of being very serious with it. So yeah, here goes. The game is in no way improved. The DLC didn't improve the gameplay, it didn't improve the story. It actually retconned parts of the story that I felt were really important to remain the way they were. They retconned the blighting of the garden, right? The fact that we got permission from the Angry Earth to blight it made us very sensible people. But now all of a sudden we actually are quite evil, because we forcefully did it. We didn't get permission from them. we didn't get permission from the Angry Earth to actually blight the Motherwell. So we did it by force, and we did it behind their back. So yeah, we can understand them being angry with us for that. And you know, it changes the whole narrative. And Adriana going mad because of the blight made a lot more sense than her fighting us unnecessarily. Because we've been on good terms with her for the entire start of the game, and then they go and they retcon it so that they have an excuse for her behavior right now. You know, her being mad and us curing her of some type of corruption would be a far better way to go, because that would show that we understood something about this island. And when we get introduced to the what do they call it? The Beast Lords, we could have used their storyline to justify why we went so far. And at the end of the day, they messed all of that up. I'm not even going to deny that it's a mess up. It's just a total mess. Because right now there isn't anything we can do to really justify our actions. We are a corrupt force right now in the game. Basically, we're the same as the corruption. We've done evil. We harmed the Angry Earth and they fought back at us. They took one of our settlements because we literally tried to destroy them completely. So, do we have any reason to be considered the good guys anymore? They kind of took that away from us. And you know what? I don't really like that, because playing as a good guy is something that I enjoy doing. I like to be given the choice of whether I'm going to be an evil scumbag or whether I'm going to be the good guy in the game. Because at the end of the day, it makes a big difference to how you play the game. So yeah, as you can see, that's what really upset me, because all of a sudden all of our hard work just went down the drain in an instant. No progress, no explanation, just flush. There you go, toilet seat for everything. I don't really need to do this here. I'm just doing this here for fun. It's just something that I can do to keep up with a little bit of pacing within the game. Beast and Angry Earth. I don't need to change this. I don't want to fight 3 of them at once. That will be suicide. There we go. 10 out of 20. The 4th there. Phew. And in case anybody is noticing that the frame rates are gone up through the roof on my videos, it is actually a little bit up. I can tweak my settings a little bit. The orichalcum I can't leave behind. This is just way too valuable. If I really wanted mithril, I have places to go and gather mithril anytime I want to. So overall, New World didn't change for the better with the DLC. And that's just me being bluntly honest about it, right? The DLC didn't improve the gameplay. It didn't improve the faults within the game. They didn't sort out the bugs. In actuality, I would feel more justified saying that they increased the number of bugs within the game. It's just such a bad proposition to actually have to explain what they did to the game, because it's not something you'd want to do regardless. I need to see where that number 2 is. Yeah. Oh, not here. They turned it to a level 60 elite zone. Can't be. That place is tough. It's always been a tough elite zone. But it was a level 45 elite zone, so I was expecting to go there and just dominate it with my current level and my level of defense. And this isn't my first time through. I've actually done this here multiple times already. There's certain bosses I can skip if I don't have to kill them. Oh yeah, and there's a new soul trial up here that I haven't showed off as yet. So yeah, that gets even more crazy. So yeah, there's tons of things that they've retconned. This is part of the main quest within it now, and it's just too much of nonsense, to be honest. They've added a whole lot of things that made no sense for the game, and at the end of the day, I feel that the player base should have been more angry about what they did, because they retconned all of our progression, right? Then on top of retconning our progression, they made our progression pointless. Now you're about to see me do something really cowardly. Go to look at the map. Okay, so I can skip this guy and go straight up. Now the reason why I'm so chargy and I run into everything is because I managed to get a hold of Blood Drinker. That's that weapon that everybody was chasing after from Starstone. And trust me, that ring was really powerful on its first launch. And once again, you can see the signs of them not testing their testing their drops before they've released them. Right? They've only done a limited number of people, and they'll get positive feedback in PvE. But the moment impact with PvP, things change rapidly because it's no longer as cut and dry as it was previously. This used to be an elite zone. This just shows that it's all gone. Okay, so I have to drop off one of the sides. I don't want to go and fight the wall again. So as you can see, regardless of what I have to say, the game is still playable, right? There are a ton of problems with it, and they definitely overcharged us for that DLC. There's no denying that it's an overcharge. To call it a fair charge would be an absolute lie, right? And I can't even justify what the price of the DLC was. It's a rip-off at the very least, and it's not much more that you can say besides it's a rip-off, right? It's just that easy to come to terms with. Yeah, right. Can you see that thing? Ridiculous. Let's have a look at where I'm going. I have no idea where this number 1 is. Oh no, the missions changed their orders. And that still hasn't been fixed. Just for, by the way, as you can see, the missions change their orders they want to, whenever they want to. I don't know if players are happy about that, but I know I definitely am not one of those who are happy about this. Changing the order of your missions may seem like a minor thing, but it has massive repercussions. And one of those examples is as simple as this. Yeah, let me just recall to the inn and go there. When missions just reshuffle and change their orders anyhow whenever they feel like, it means that the player, the person who is running it, doesn't have any control in what's going on. If you were chasing down mission 1 and it changed from order mission 1 to mission 2, if I completed it, I expected it to take me to the hand-in, but instead the moment it was completed, it was either knocked off that list or it had another task and it was reshuffled, which means that I'm not completing the mission, or I'm ending up with a whole lot of stuff that are going to hold me back at a later stage. And that has happened to me multiple times. Collect missions should be visible on the map. This year they knew from the start, they actually said that there was tips and tricks for you to pick up the items for your missions. It appears that they've made so that you can find out who you're going to have to farm for those items, but not items that are sitting on the sides of roads and items in bushes. So with that regard, it's not really all that easy to collect. And a lot of people will know this as part of the Zygronath or Zygronorth path, that there was a whole section where you had to collect a whole lot of materials. You had to collect fungus and all of these items, and some of them you had to farm in areas where there were a limited number of spawns, like 3 spawns of a rare item, and there'll be 3 or 4 guys in the area. And if one guy knows where all of them spawns and he's moving around in circles to pick up the 15 needed, he's going to pick up all 3, and he's going to be there for about 1.5 hours, and everybody else is going to be left without that ability to pick it up. And it keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going, and eventually you spend 2 or 3 days to complete a task. That's because it isn't flagging the items and it's not generating the items based on the player count. So yeah, that was one of the big gripes I had in the past with the game. I don't see that getting fixed ever, right? Honestly, game studios have really let a lot of their player bases down over this past year, and I don't improving at all. Not this year, not next year, not the year after that there. I'd honestly rate gaming and the gaming dev studios right now as a perishing industry. I don't know why it's perishing at the rate that it's perishing, but it's definitely perishing. If you think about it, we have games like Ark. They literally got away with charging a premium for the same game. They just revamped the features within it a little bit, and they put on a new skin, and they're charging through the roof. Yeah, they did do a new AI for some of the creatures, but that was something they were supposed to have done when it was in early access. They gave the game in drips and drabs. They charged you for all your maps and all your DLCs, and then they switch over to a new version, and you have to pay for the entire version on its own, and you have to pay for the sequence to the game that comes out in 3 months. The server that launches is only one server, so you only have one place to play. All the mods haven't been converted to it, so everybody is basically only playing vanilla Ark over there. And as you can tell, just from the way I'm describing it, I'm not really impressed with how they handle things. And I'm not sure that anybody can be impressed with the recent problems with developments. Just for, by the way, that is my own personal gripes with how things have. Now, what did it go and add to my? This is something else. I don't even know what this is. Yellow is storyline journeys, right? That's why I'm doing it. Oh, this is epic equipment, right? Let's see. Just looking at this, you can see how much of farming there is to do here. And yes, there's tons in rewards, but it's not really worth it. Side stories. I still have stuff which isn't. Oh wait, I have. Not even really worth most of these. This one is definitely worth it. Brimstone Sands. Yeah, I haven't completed that. So overall, as you could see, that there's a ton of things that I've been looking at, and a ton of things that I've been trying to complete. But overall, as you can tell from what I'm about to say, the game hasn't improved. It's just more grindy than it was previously. And yes, I am grinding and going through all of this stuff willfully. I'm not being forced to do anything. And yeah, if I really do hate this game so much, why don't I quit? I know some people will say that there. But that's the thing, I've paid for the game. I know what I paid for. I'm going to get my money's worth out of it, no matter what I have to do to get that money's worth out. So yeah, that's why I'm playing the game. But beyond all of that, there's just nothing that can be said to justify how they messed up the game. And yes, when I say mess up, I'm not being cynical in any way. I'm being straightforward about it. They did way too much to the game in a negative, and it has had impacts to everything that you do. I'm at 11,000. I just need 4 more thousand to go. So yeah, that's gonna be about it for this one. Yeah, I know I've spoken a bit, and you've seen a little bit of the play. You've seen that things are normal. For the most part, it's been really repetitive stuff that's been going on, and that's about all that there has been for this year. Now, in the next few days, you will see that there's going to be an announcement on my channel of streaming that's going to be done, and that's because I've decided to play another game and stream it for 2 whole days. And I don't mean 24 hours and 24 hours. I mean like 6 hours and 6 hours on 2 separate days. That's going to be my big streams. I'll see how they go. I'll have some fun with it. Let's see if there's anybody who drops down on chat and has it out with me. I hope to see anybody there who likes to complain about my stuff. So see you all then. Have a good day.